am a Cerner person. Like, this is what we used. And I don't trust Cerner for my case times at all, because you can look at how long it books them and you're like, that's not right. We're only going to be here an hour and a half, or we're going to be here and there. And so your block times get all messed up. So how does, and maybe Cheyenne, maybe this is a question for you, maybe Sam, but how does LeapRail take the case data? Does it look at the people in the room? Does it aggregate averages of times of that particular case being done? How does it take the data and turn it into an accurate timestamp so that we can really look at our board and see how long our cases are going to go?
Yeah, Melanie, that's a great question. So if you think about how Cerner, Epic, or any of the EMRs really do that case duration prediction, they simply look at a surgeon and they say, okay, they have done this type of procedure this many times. We're going to take last 3 months, 6 months, whatever it might be, and just average it out. And that's the number you get on your quote unquote schedule, right? But think about the things that were left out of that. Who's the patient? You're completely ignoring that, right? Like, and we know patients are not created equal. Who is working with this surgeon on this case? I mean, like the staff in the room, who's the anesthesiologist? Have they worked together before? Are they familiar with this procedure? What's their personal relationship like? If you work well with certain people and less well with some other people, right? These things are, as an OR manager, as a charge nurse, you probably know. You see those two walking into the same room, it's
Yeah,
like,
they're a
okay, it's going to be an
well-oiled
extra
machine, or
15
they're
minutes
not.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the approaches that we took at LeapRail is, well, the technology is advanced enough that we don't need to use a high school average algorithm, right? Like just average it out. We have all this data sitting in the EMR. We have the HMP in there. We assign the staff in advance. We know which room it is in. We know what time of day it is. We know which weekday it is. Maybe like on Thursdays and Fridays, things run differently than on Mondays and Tuesdays. So we take all of these elements, about 1,500 data points, and we put it in a machine learning algorithm that gives us a better, more accurate prediction of that time. Now, it's not perfect. It won't get everything right. I mean, it's still at the end of the day an unpredictable thing. We're taking care of a patient on the bed in the room, but the studies that we have done, and Harvard Medical School actually used Sam's organization as one of the parties that they did a study for us on, showed 70% improvement in reducing inaccuracies, right? And just exactly what Sam was saying. Now you know your rooms are going to be late into the evening. You know where you have gaps. You can accommodate your add-ons. You can have higher confidence when you call the surgeon and say, yes, we can put you in that room at 2:30. It's not going to be 5, right? And these things have domino effect downstream, right? How does that impact the PACU? How does that impact your overall bed census? All these things kind of interplay with one another. So once you make those types of improvements, it just becomes a much more well-oiled machine.
That's incredible. And to think that actually me as a circulator plays a part into that data, like where I get assigned and how I work and what I do and how well I work with or don't work with the other people in the room actually affects the data that's being collected. That's mind blowing. It makes you feel very important. Like I play a part in this.
I actually really like how it can evaluate the team, like taking the different team members and sort of taking a look at how they work together. I mean, I can imagine from an efficiency standpoint, there are some things that you likely might know intrinsically if you're a smaller kind of team, but as those teams get bigger, to have that mix and match and trying to figure out where those assignments should go, to have the most smoothly running day, I can see that being incredibly helpful.